Hello, hello. Good evening or morning, well, depending where you are. Uh, so yeah, as I wrote on Twitter, oh, okay, Hell is saying hi on Discord. Okay. So yeah, tomorrow is a big day. Too many things to do. Need to go to the graveyard in the morning. It's the anniversary of my grandpa's dying. And then I have to go to some course class thing, and then there's going to be a protest, and then after that I'm going to a party in the night. So I'll be outside the whole day basically. And I thought, okay, I'm not gonna do any work tomorrow, so let's just work on the game. So I did a few things in the previous few days. Well, most of the time I was working for a client, but other than that, I was working a bit on Shakedown, and I've added a few things. Let me actually look at my Git. I wish I could remember. So yeah, what did I do I did a lot of things on the previous stream. Although I was not able to save the previous stream, so it's forever gone. Unfortunately, I keep forgetting that I need to export these videos from Twitch to YouTube. So yeah, unfortunately, this video is gone. But I've done actually a lot of things. I managed to add car switching, so now there's now a separate config for the car, and it's actually the first thing that I did for a paid version. So yes, from I can now safely announce that from the next version, from the next update, there's going to be two versions of the game, and one is going to be the demo version and one is going to be the paid version. And I still haven't decided what the price is going to be for the paid version, because there's not much differences now, but it's more like a thing for the future, because it is actually going to be modding friendly. That's basically the kind of the point of the paid version, or the main difference. And in the demo, there's going to be one car and maybe one track, or maybe two tracks. Maybe I will put Sweden in the demo as well. But yeah, the thing is that in the demo version, you should have you can still mod the demo version, but it's more trouble, because now there's this new system, which I haven't actually. Yeah, I can show you. Release. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it's a Mosquitch. Oh, and the wheels are offset, but that's fine. Yeah, so the thing is that now in the new paid version, or let's call it the non-demo version, what you can do is in the config, you can open it, and you can set a different model of the car. If you change this one, Mosk is for the Mosquitch. If I change it to spec 17, and I run the game again, you do have to run the game again though. It will actually be the rally car. So I have car switching now, you can say so. And yeah, so basically what happens here is that I have different configs, separate configs, which are for each of the cars. So in spec 17 or the rally car, this is the one. This is the spec 17, and for the Musk, there is for the Moskvich, here it is, and that defines all the geometry parameters, suspension, engine power and stuff like that. So if in the future non-demo versions, you'll be also able to create your own very easily and then be able to switch it, except that right now I don't have any way to switch in the game, which is one of the things that I want to add for the future. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to show is, I forgot what I was thinking about. Okay, sounds of the future. Removed, yeah, so basically what I did, I removed spec 17 requirement for the non-demo version. The ini is now separate, and then of course another important thing is I added a menu. So now when you hit escape, the game actually pauses. You can still use your camera rotation, but the game has effectively paused, and now you need to press space to restart, or you can press R for replay. Well, now it's okay, resume. Let's actually drive a bit, and then I'm going to look at the replay. So yeah, if you drive around, oh, that was a really nice spin, to be honest. Okay, so you drive around a bit, you go escape, and you can hit R for a replay, and it opens this window, which is basically your seek. You can seek through it, yeah, this is basically your timeline, and the lower part is the time scale, so you can play it in slow motion, look at your car, you can change the cameras, use this camera if you want, zoom in using plus. Let's look at that beautiful turn from the corner itself. And let's play it in normal motion. Okay, nice. A little bit weird ending in there, but yeah, it's good. Okay, so and another thing that you can do with the menu at the end is you can press enter to quit the game, which is amazing. You couldn't do that before. Yeah, you had to rely on Alt F4. Okay, so basically that's what I did on the last stream. In between the last stream and this stream, I've actually added a few more things. I've added mouse hiding. This is a thing that I wanted to add for a very long time. And then actually I just didn't have an idea how to do it exactly. But the thing is that you see there's no mouse. There would always be this cursor on the screen while you're driving, which was very annoying. And previously you had to tap control, which doesn't work anymore, but you had to tap control to toggle the cursor, which was like, people didn't know that, players didn't know that, and it was definitely a weird thing to do. So what I did oh yeah, this is the Sweden particles over there. What I did is that now whenever you can actually use the mouse, for example when I have the dev GUI, as you can see, what happens now is that when the mouse is idle for like 1 second, it will be hidden by default, as you can see there. And as soon as you move the mouse, it will unhide. So there's no like annoying, you know, it's kind of like watching a video, you know, in a video program or YouTube or something. So it will automatically hide if you're not using it, and yeah, and same goes for the replay. So if I start the replay, I can actually use my mouse to manipulate the timeline and everything, and feedback, but it will only appear, yeah, in the replay or if the dev GUI is on. Otherwise, in any other state, it doesn't appear at all. So yeah. So I added that. Oh, I didn't exit properly. And there's been a few things. There's been a few other things. Oh, smooth follow. That's what I did before. Shader refactor. Yeah, I removed some M's, some member, because in C++ it's kind of encouraged to use M underscore for your member fields, basically, of your class. I removed those. So there was a lot of like engine stuff. Cleaned up game object, deprecated. Yeah, I removed, so HPM. I can't even remember what it meant. Horror PlayStation model, I think so, because I intended it at the very beginning, I intended this engine to be like a horror PS1 PS1 horror engine, sort of. So I had this horror PlayStation model file, which I made my own parser for and my own exporter in the Blender. But now I'm just using, and I also use the Ply, because Ply is like, you know, it was a very simple model to make a parser for. But now I'm just using GLTF all the time. So no need for any other parsers. They were just kind of packaged with the engine for no reason. No clip controller. Yeah, there was a bug, I remember. And you see this branch? This branch is actually a refactor of the drivetrain, as it says here. Which, yeah, I am actually working on a completely new handling physics. But it's still not ready. It will be for the next build or for the next update, or not the upcoming one, but maybe in 2 updates or 3 updates. I don't know. I have to go like brakes. Yeah, I fixed a lot of things in that drivetrain, but I also broke some things, so not everything is working. And back on the master branch. Yeah, I did 2 things. I improved the low speed stability. So if I start the game, I've done 2 things. So if you look into the car outputs in the current build that is available, you will see that a lot of these parameters that are being monitored are very, very noisy. Like when you're moving, especially when you're braking, when you're completely still, these are completely wild. Like they're kind of you know, going all over the place, and it's really bad. It's because well, I had some physics problems that I didn't know how to solve, and then I actually just, you know, prototyped a bit and figured it out, and I was like, man, it was far more easier than I thought, of course, as always. And then I implemented those, and now it's a lot more stable, which is very, very nice. And another thing I did is that yeah, as a consequence of that and a few other things, is that when you're actually braking on a slope, when you brake on a slope, there used to be a problem where the car would slide, like it would slightly slide all the time, and it's no longer sliding, so it's completely still when you're braking on a slope. And you could even see this. You could even see this on a tiny slope like this one. Like, okay, this is a slope, right? Even though it's barely a slope. But the car would like start sliding slightly, and you can see still that, well, the car is actually not sliding, but it's rotating. And it's rotating slightly. I don't know why. Probably because it's hitting something, and the kind of the turn drag is not working 100% to stop it. So there's always some kind of a force on the torque of the car, which is, in the new handling model I'm going to fix, because in the new handling model I'm going to treat the wheels as separate force appliers. Is that the right term? I don't know. But anyway, that's about it. So yeah, for the stuff that I did in between, and now I want to go on to adding a few more things into the engine. So yeah, let me see. Low speed stability fix. So yeah, I did those two. And yeah, one thing that I want to do today is I want to make the object capacity modifiable. And this is something that, because right now the object capacity is loaded, so you cannot load more than a certain number of objects. I can't remember if I actually have that written down somewhere. So yeah, for example, when you load a track in the car, it will tell you that there's total 417 objects. But the maximum capacity... there it is. This is where I wrote. So the count of the objects is 417 and the capacity is 2K, right? 2048. But the thing is that if you wanted to load a track that has more than this number, it would completely break the game. And and what will essentially happen, I think what will happen is, let me go into the scene CPP. So if I go here and I look for add, no, I think it's actually called create. It's up here. Yeah, right. Create. This one. So, there it is. So what scene create is, it will create a new object, right? So if the object size is more than capacity, it will say can't create more objects, it will return a dummy. So it will return a object that does nothing, right? And so if you modify this object, so essentially it will not load additional objects if you have some. And yeah, so basically what I do here is I'm always I have this max objects capacity property, and I'm actually I'm actually setting it in the main. And so you might ask, why don't I just see how many things there is in the model? But here's the problem. Okay, here's the problem. I'm gonna paint a bit. So here's the problem, right? Let's say that these are my slots, and this is the maximum. This is maximum. So how many objects is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, perfect. 10 is maximum. Let's say that 10 is the maximum capacity. And what I do is I load a track. A track has, let's say it has 5 objects. I load a track and I load a car. A car has two objects, let's say, in this example. It has much more, but and it fits the capacity, right? Because there's five track objects, two car objects, perfect. Okay, so you might wonder why don't I just make it like I look into the file, right? I look into the file, and I just say, hey, see how many objects there is. There's 20 objects. Just initialize this with that. Well, the problem is that I have a track and a car. So this is the track and this is the car. What I would need to do is I would need to look into both of them. And the way that I do object loading right now is that I'm basically just doing a for each of models, right? If I remember correctly. Because GLTF reader, so I'm basically using a GLTF. And then I say load directly into scene. So what I do here is I take a path. I open, try to load from path. Okay, it loads into the model from the path. And then I have all the stuff. First there are textures, materials, meshes, blah, 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 nodes. Oh yeah, nodes. These are objects. But the problem is that GLTF's nodes are not my nodes because my engine doesn't have any parenting. What I do is, while GLTF might be like it's a hierarchy, it's like there's two objects and then this two objects might be like this and these are going to be like four objects. So these four objects are parented to this one, right? And they're all parented to the root. So technically there is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 objects. But how I load them is I actually just load them flat. So all these 9 objects are just going to be like this, right? They're just going to be flat. And well, the reason I do this is complicated. No, it's just like because my engine is just a simplification of, there's no hierarchy by design. I mean, I could add hierarchy, but it's a feature to add. So I just always chose to like not implement it. Okay, so so yeah, I would need to calculate what I would need to do is I would the problem is that as I'm loading these objects, I'm pushing them into the scene. As you can see, there's a game object. There it is. It's a scene create empty. So I don't like pre-allocate. Yeah, and one more thing is that perhaps I will need to add objects later. So something like here, right? If I add an object that is bigger than the capacity of the whole thing, everything is fucked. Because this array will then reallocate. It will be bigger. It will be 20 then instead of 10. And all the pointers, all the things that are somewhere else are going to be invalid because they're pointing into wrong things now. And yeah, there are workarounds for that, but it all needs to be implemented. So why am I even telling you all this? Yeah, well, I'm telling you all this because I'm also like thinking out loud, right? Maybe I should actually implement uh, better object loading and hierarchies and stuff like that. But for now, I just want to make sure that modders don't overflow the object capacity. Because I've had complaints from some of the modders. Well, one modder, but yeah, let's say that it's some of the modders. That 2,000 objects that I pre-allocate is just not enough. So, well, I could say, okay, what about 10,000? Well, somebody is going to make 10,000 objects. I know it. I know it exactly, you know? So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to add a little, where am I actually allocating these? Object capacity. When I create an engine, I need to create a scene somewhere. There it is. There it is. Engine create scene. I actually create a scene here. So when I create a scene, I pass this number, right? And I actually want to check. Yeah. So I want the players to be able to modify this number. And the way that I'm going to do this is I'm simply going to put it into the config. And where should that actually be? In the track? Yeah, let's add it in the track. This is not release. I should actually be editing this config. Yeah. So let's add object capacity, and I'm gonna make it the default one. And then if I try to create, yeah, so basically I'm going to register object capacity in as my CFG parameters. Let's see, where are my this is for bindings. But not for bindings. Aha, there it is. It's, wait, what? It is here, yes. Register CFG parameters. So this is the car. Ah, okay. Oh, there it is. So for not car, I'm going to add, let's see, where is the track? Do I even read the track? I don't, right? Okay, so I'm going to, yeah, let's add to the bottom, I guess. Unless I have the track somewhere. No, I'm gonna add it here. Sideways rate. Oh yeah, this is the camera. Okay, yeah, let's add register a new parameter. That's going to be called a object capacity, and it's going to be an integer. Yeah, I'm going to put it into game object capacity, and it's going to be by default, of course, it's going to be 2048. And now, well, I have to create this. Is there any suggestion? Create declaration definition. No, that's not that. Okay. So in the here, I'm going to add object capacity somewhere. Do we have a track name? No. Well, gravity is part of the track, if I remember correctly. No, it's actually part of environment, right? Ah, start position is. Yeah, it's so messy. Everything is so messy. Car model name. Here is the start position. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually going to add object capacity here. And let's just do again, 2048. So, object capacity or object capacity? What's the problem? Ah, yeah, right. It needs a section as well. I can just say, what is it? Track, right? This track. Oh no, it's called scene. Damn it. What's the problem? No instance matches the argument list. Const char, okay. Object capacity. Aha. I guess it doesn't take defaults. Ah, yeah, it doesn't. I confused it because this is registering, not defaults. Not saving or loading. Oh shit, it's already morning. I just noticed the sun. Not the sun, but the light. Okay, so let's see. What if... Okay, let's see if this actually builds. But let's build as a debug and not a release. Object's capacity not found. And what does it say? Using default 2048. Okay. So, why did it not find... Because I didn't save. Okay, let's try now. Okay, it did find it. Okay, and what I'm left to do actually is that I should change the 2048 thing to object capacity. Wait, did I? No, I didn't. Game object capacity. I think it's actually taking a size T. So yeah, let's static cast to size T, just so the compiler doesn't complain. And, you know, let's be honest, nobody's going to have more than 2 billion objects. Hopefully. Okay. So, what happens if I put object capacity to something really small? Is it going to completely break the game? Uh-huh. Interesting. It didn't break anything. But it did break it actually, because the wheels are missing. So yeah, cannot create more objects. Returning dummy. There it is. So actually there is so little number of objects. Objects 32, capacity 32. There you go. So there's so few objects that everything loaded correctly, almost, except the wheels. So let's make it even smaller. Let's see what happens now. It broke. Cool. Yeah, nice. Let's see what happens. There's something in the material. Get material. Oh yeah, it's trying to get the material, but the dummy doesn't have a material. That's the thing. So it's a null pointer here, but it's trying to get a reference. It's trying to dereference a null pointer, basically, which is great. Cannot create more objects. I should add like, please increase the capacity or something like that. But there we go. Let me get it back to 2048. Cool. So we've added object capacity. Custom object capacity for you. There we go. And let's also say done. Cool. Okay, first task for today done. Configure object capacity. Cool. Okay. Remove if depth Sweden, add particle colors to config. Yeah. So here's the thing. I basically have right now, there's a Sweden and there's no Sweden. So what Sweden does, what Sweden preprocessor macro does, is that it actually makes, if not Sweden, this block is not Sweden, it will make the colors brown. And it's weird because the particle colors should be white for Sweden, right? So yeah, notice that in the current, the way it works right now, if I load up everything, if I go onto the grass, you can see that everything is white. The white smoke is the smoke, I mean the dust is being emitted, because this is actually snow particles. And I can exit by normal exit. Okay, so if I, on the other hand, edit this, whoops, not the demo, but if I define out Sweden, now when I go over the grass, the dirt is now brownish, and when I slide, it will be brown. So as you can see, because it's like a hard-coded macro, I can't build both like Sweden and not Sweden, you know, snowy and not snowy. I would need to have two completely different apps. So because I didn't do it before, I have to do it now. So what are actually the changing things? Well, it's the color of the particles, and there is one more thing, and that one more thing is actually collision particles, because not snowy things should not have any collision particles. And yeah, so basically what I need to do is I'm going to remove the sweet and define, first of all. Okay, second of all, I'm going to add a few more entries into, should I add it into the scene or the environment? I guess scene. So I'm going to add a parameter that's going to be called particle colors. And particle color is, let's make this as a normal brown color. It's going to be that, but without the F, of course. We don't have floats or non-floats in the config. There's a tab here. Okay, so particle color. Let's actually call it dirt particle color. Okay, and light brown. What's the difference between dirt brown and light brown? Ah, that's the trail color. Okay, kick color and trail color. Yeah, let's call it the kick dirt particles color. And I'm gonna have a trail. Should be called kick dirt or trail dirt. Let's call it kick particles and trail particles. Okay, so light brown. What is light brown? It's dirt brown multiplied by 1.5. So basically it should be this multiplied by 1.5. So let's see. 0, 3, 5, 8. Is it 1.5? Yeah. And I think I actually kind of like it. I like the color, so. What? How is this possible? How did I multiply? Did I accidentally press some other thing? Okay, let's see. Can I actually copy multiple values? Invalid input. Yeah, no, I can't. Okay. 0, 3, 5, 8 multiplied by 1.5. Oh, fuck. Okay. 1.5. Yeah. It's this. Okay. This multiplied by 1.5. And finally 02727 0405. There we go. And there's a comma missing here. Trail particles color. So let's register the two of these. Kick particle color. Let's see. Again, register CFG parameters. Let's go with CFG register scene, and it's gonna be kick particle colors, and I'm gonna do particles. Yeah, let's just name it the same, kick particles color, and yeah, it's actually going to be a vector 3, hopefully. So yeah, let me actually go to this one, object capacity. I'm gonna do it here, glm vec3. Let's go with, or should I do a color, anti-k color? Does it work? I think it's, yeah, it won't actually work with yeah, it won't work when I register a reference, but it would be nice if it did work. So let's actually try this. Kick particles color, and I'm gonna have it initialize to anti-k color white. Okay. Does it actually complain? Interesting. So it doesn't complain, even though this is a, I don't think it has, it can register it. Okay, let's actually build and see. There it is. Static assert fail. Attempted to register an unsupported type. Yeah, I can't register a color type, which means I will have to I'll have to convert it to GLM. Yeah, it would be really nice to have it as a color, but unfortunately, let's do this. Anti-k, no, yeah, I have to do it as vector 3. But what I can do here, I can say as GLM, and it will actually, at const x per time, this will all be calculated. So we'll take a white color, and it will make it a vector. And then what I can do is I can take a trail particles color. It's gonna, yeah, let's actually take the same one. Yeah, I'll just copy this. But yeah, I think it should actually be brown. Better make it brown. Okay, so let's register a trail particles color, and that's gonna be a trail. And yeah, so let's go to Sweden, and now instead of this kick color is going to be yeah, let's actually trail color. Yeah, let me actually change it from game kick particles color. Can I convert to GLM actually? I forgot. Will it implicitly, is there an implicit constructor? Implicit const expr cast 2 vector 4, but I don't actually have a constructor. Yeah. So the only way to actually create it is by passing individual values. Okay. So like this, basically. Although it doesn't register it. Okay. Our RGB. Does it work like this? Hopefully. No. Attempt to, interesting. Yeah, because it's a const expr. It can't be const expr. But it can be const. So yeah, it would be really nice to have a converter. Thing is, if I convert as U32. Okay, let's try this. I'm just gonna add from GLM, and that's gonna get me back a color that's going to be from GLM vec4 or vec3. Yeah. RGB, and of course the alpha is going to be 1. RGB of a vector. Yeah, this is actually XYZ, but it's the same thing. I think these are actually unions. Probably. From GLM. And actually, I'm gonna add a vector4 variant as well. Which is going to use an alpha channel. There we go. So now I can simplify this by saying from GLM, and that's going to be a game what was it? Particles something. Kick particles color. Okay, and this doesn't work because it should be const expr. A non-static member must be relative to a specific object. All right, so this should be a static. Yeah, and then a const. A static cannot be const, which makes sense. Okay, there it is. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing with trail. And there we go. I can actually just remove all of this. And yeah, I don't need the light brown anymore. And I'm gonna add one more thing. I'm gonna add collision particles, or let's say do collision particles. And that's gonna be false or 0. So for Sweden, that's gonna be true. Trail particles color. This is gonna be a register scene. Do collision particles. Game do collision particles. Okay. So let's add that to the game. Which is just going to be a bool. And it's going to be false by default. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, instead of this Sweden, I'm just gonna say if game do particles, do collision particles, do this. But yeah, these should actually be dependent on the material, not some global bool. Collision particles, but spawn collision particle. Okay. I'm gonna have to detect collision particles. Particles testing. Yeah, this is for the test. For the middle. I'm gonna hide it for now. Okay. So hopefully that's it. So, let's see, does it work? It is brown, which is good. It's brown. And are there any collision particles? I don't see any collision particles. Looks good, looks good. Okay, let's actually Let's actually change the color of the particles. I'm gonna make it 1 so that it's gonna be very red. The kick particles should be very red. Or reddish. We'll see. Yeah, there they are. It looks a bit like, you know, custom tire smoke. Nice. Okay, yeah, there you go. You can now modify a global parameter of the particles. But yeah, it should actually depend on the surface. But this will come in the later surface update. For now, the surfaces are global and hard-coded. Cool. Okay, so that works. I'm just gonna say added. Okay, let's say remove if the Sweden, add particle colors to config. Done. So basically, I've done this. Collision. No. Particle colors now exposed in config. Nice. And no more Sweden. And is there more Sweden somewhere mentioned? Hopefully not. Tire solution. Any Sweden words? No, there's no Sweden words. Cool. Okay, so next thing that I wanted to, the last thing I wanted to do is to add some smoothing and or noise to the free camera. And I have to remember, how does the free camera work? Is it the no clip controller? It is. So how do I actually spin the camera around? FOV limit. This should be probably cleaned up. Orbit camera. Free camera. There it is. Mouse button right. Lock mouse. Yeah, I am actually locking the mouse here. I forgot about that. No clip cam. Update. Set angle input from mouse motion. There it is. There it is. So I'm calculating the angle from the motion delta. So angle input is a two component vector, basically, a vector 2. And now I'm getting really sleepy. So let's do this quickly. Yeah, basically what am I trying to do? I didn't even explain what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to smooth the camera movements. Because right now, smoothing in the free look. So if you look at the free look, right, it's always exact. And if you zoom in, the problem is that when you zoom in and you start going really slowly, as you can see, it kind of skips many pixels, and it looks really bad and, you know, annoying. So I kind of want to smooth this free look. That's what I want to do. Oh, why do I actually have a 1/60 and not a delta time? Interesting. Well, the easiest is to just copy this. Copy this outside, and instead of set input from mouse motion, I do a custom no clip I'm gonna set the angle input to a custom thing. So okay, by equals no clip cam mouse sensitivity. So this is the, okay, let's actually add this. Into a game property. Let's see. Can I do a NTK lerp? I can also do a smooth damp. Right, it can actually blend between different types, but I'm not actually sure if it can do it between vectors. Let's see. Let's see if it works. So what I need a smooth camera movement. Smooth camera. Let's call it smooth. What is it called? FPS camera? It's not an FPS camera. Free look. Smooth free look. Delta. Kind of like this. So let's see. Game smooth. Okay, so like this. Game smooth equals. And now what's the target? Let's make this the target. Okay, so we have the current, we have the target, And then what else is there? There's also the velocity. Which you need to keep. What's going on here? Why don't I? There it is. Target current velocity. Yeah, it's going to gain smooth velocity, smooth time. Let's make it very slow. Let's make it 1 second. Delta time is dt. Maximum speed. I don't think I should define that. Okay, let's see if this works. Smooth damp, what does it say? Noises function template matches the argument list. Argument types are chillem2 float. Oh, delta time is also defined. Oh. Okay, delta time is also defined as the same type. Yeah, delta time is definitely a float. So let's see if I destroyed everything. Max speed, let's do a float as well. Okay, so now this works. Nope, it doesn't. Okay, let's see. And in the end, I'm gonna have a no clip cam. Angle input is smooth free look delta, and that's it, right? I can hide this one. And I have no idea why smooth temp doesn't work. Yep, we have issues. Smooth temp, no matching overloading operation. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Okay, let me get it back to T's, just because I'm not exactly sure if it will work or not with everything else. So instead of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it into... Okay, let's do a glm vec2. I'm going to make a reference to a smooth delta. let's just call it delta. Delta x is anti-k smooth damp delta x free look target x and game smooth velocity smooth looks velocity and the time and dt. Okay, so one of them. Okay, let's do this for y as well. Delta y, y, y. Okay. And let me remove all of this. Okay, let's see if this changes anything. If anything works at all. And then I'm going to go to sleep. Okay, let's see. If I go to the free look. Ah, there it is. Oh, it's pretty cool. It's actually working. Nice. It feels like a heavy camera. It really does. Oh, and when you release it will it does not go on. Nice. Okay, now I can play around with the camera shots. This is hard to control, but it actually feels good. Okay, let's play with some other. Okay, let's do some nice turn. Like this, yeah. And now let's do a replay. What I can do is I can go here. And there we go. I am now the cameraman. Cool. Yeah, it's a little bit slow. Not slow, but I mean. There we go. Yeah, and now it would be great to be able to actually control it, that the person, like, it's automatically controlled and not like by me. It does feel natural just because of smoothing. Nice. Yeah. This is great, except that I don't want to only update when free looking. Yeah, what I actually want to do is, okay, let's do it outside. Free look target is nothing. So it's gonna start like this, but in the free look I'm gonna change it to be that, and then finally outside I'm gonna calculate So it's like this. Okay, let's drive around again. Do a replay. Ah, still doesn't work. So when I let go, it still processes, but it doesn't update the smoothing. So why does it not, why does it stop immediately? That's the question. And what else did I say? Noise, right. Oh, I might add noise into it some other time. On the next stream. Yeah, I don't know why it stops. But it shouldn't stop, because when I release it, it should keep on going. It's strange. I don't know what it is. But it works. We have some nice smoothing in the camera. And what else? Modify object capacity if and if Sweden. And let's run the release as well. Nothing. Oh yeah, I did actually change rigid body CVP. Weird. And most importantly, let's copy these into the release config. And most importantly, I can make the Sweden be white now. Okay, it works. But let me actually try it. Okay, so if this is going to be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and collision particles. So what that means is that when I start I can go around. Oh, weird. Weird crash. Okay. What I can do now is nice smooth relook. Really like it. Not fast enough for me. Oh, bad crash. Okay. So what did I now forgot what I was doing, which is a perfect sign that I should go sleep. I can't even remember what I wanted to do. Yeah, I wanted to do something, check something, I don't know. And then I totally forgot. Okay, so we got that working, and oh yeah, the particles. I wanted to check. So yeah, you can see that the particles are brown, which is perfect, as it should be. Nice, and the dirt, the kick particles are also perfect. I mean, they're bad, but they're perfect. Okay, now let's go to Sweden. Let's see what Sweden says. Sweden. Oh, config entry. What does it say? Update to create a mesh collider. Config entry chase camera. Ah. Not found. Okay. Doesn't matter. What's important is for us to test if the particles are white, and they are. Look at that. Perfect. Nice. I don't have to do that weird hard-coded thing again. Cool. Okay, so that's it. That's it for tonight. Thanks for joining, or for the morning. Well, it is morning here. I'm gonna sleep for like 4 hours and then wake up and then have a very long day running everywhere. I hope you enjoyed a bit of like 2 hours. Cool, nice turn of the stream. Yeah, funny thing is that the chase camera is not actually that. It wasn't that great in the past. The snow is in the way, but I've actually, yeah, I didn't copy over the parameters for it, which is good. This is a dead end. Perfect. Nice. Okay, let's watch some replay. I need to make the smoothness of the camera into a... Where is it? There it is. I'm too late. Nice passage. Okay, yeah. Thanks for being here. See you on Sunday, maybe. Although I have stuff to do on Sunday as well. I'll see. Nice. Whoops, wrong button. I didn't want to start a browser. Free look, camera, noise, and smoothing. Yes. Smoothing, yes. Noise, not. Cool. So I actually done everything that I envisioned. So yeah, most likely see you on Sunday again. I will be doing a few more camera stuff, smoothing, maybe tracking camera for the side shots. I'll see. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.